네, 오늘은요. 누구에게 이야기를 들어볼까요?
So today we have a clip sent to us from Rachel, who's from the USA but is currently in Indonesia.
That's right. 레이첼 씨의 이야기를 들어볼 텐데요. 레이첼 씨가 생각하는 요즘에 일을 하는 데 있어서의 사람들이 일자리를 찾는 데 있어서의 일종의 문제점 이야기를 들어볼까요?
Okay, Rachel 씨,
나와주세요.
I think there is way too much pressure on young people to find their one true passion and follow their dreams. I actually think that those things are really overrated, and it puts too much pressure on young people to just find one thing that they're really, really good at or one thing that they want to do specifically. And so they go to college, they get into a lot of debt, and they still don't really know what they want to do. A lot of them have generic degrees that don't really point them in a specific direction as far as career goes. So I think personally that you should, number one, find happiness within yourself, being content with your life and who you are as a person, and also try to be useful to your community and the people around you. And through doing those two things, you can easily find, I think, a job that just makes you happy.
Okay. Excellent speech.
Yeah, it was very excellent. I agree with a lot of things that she said.
네, and Rachel actually spoke faster than usual in this
Yeah,
video.
she was actually quite quick. Usually she's very, kind of normal pace, but she was speeding through.
Maybe because she's passionate about this topic.
Oh, maybe she's passionate, or maybe she had to get back to working in her community, so she just blah, 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 so she could go back to work.
Yeah, maybe she was busy.
Yeah.
오케이. 아무튼 평소보다 조금은 빠른 속도로 이야기를 해주신 레이첼 씨인데요. 어떤 이야기를 했는지 한 줄 한 줄 같이 공부해 보겠습니다.
Okay, so the first line is, I think there's way too much pressure on young people. I think there's way too much pressure on young people.
Too much라고 하면 너무 많은 건데 way too much는 그것을 더 한 단계 강조를 해주는 거죠. 그래서 너무 많이, 지나치게 많이라는 말이고요. Too much pressure on young people. 젊은 사람들이 너무 압박을 많이 받는다.
Yeah.
스트레스라고 번역해도 괜찮아요. 스트레스를 많이 받는 것 같아요. 그런데 무엇에 대한 압박이죠? Pressure to do what?
To find their one true passion and follow their dreams. To find their one true passion and follow their dreams.
네, 진정한 열정 하나를 찾아서 follow their dreams. 꿈을 쫓아야 한다는 그런 부담 말이에요. So yeah, I think this is absolutely true.
It is true.
I think it's happening in a lot of countries.
Yeah, I think it does too. I know for me, I felt that pressure. So I was like, okay, when I went to college, I chose one major. And I thought, oh, it's going to be so awesome. So I changed my major a few times. And then I went to internships and realized that it wasn't my passion and it was kind of boring. And so it was like, I felt so stressed.
네.
Yeah.
아, 그런 의미에서 스트레스를 받을 수도 있겠군요. 사실은 메간 선생님 같은 경우는 이제 중간중간에 분야를 여러 번 바꿔서 스트레스를 받았다는 이야기였고, 또 레이첼 씨가 이야기하는 거는 바꾸고 싶어도 you want to do that.
Yeah.
But other people say, no, you have to stick to your own
Yeah.
passion. 이렇게 말을 하는 것 자체가 pressure, 압박이라는 거죠. 그래서 어려운 것 같고, I think this is happening in Korea too. Like people tell young kids, find your passion. Find out what you're good at. And you have to be a master
Of that thing.
of that thing.
And you have to only stick to that thing, and you
네.
can never change. Because I feel like your dreams do change
맞아요. Just
quite
like you.
often. Yeah, just like mine. Like in my case of changing my major, it was because I thought my passion was somewhere else.
맞아요.
Yeah.
그래서 바꿔도 괜찮은데 바꿀 수 없을 것 같은 그런 pressure, 압박을 받는다라는 이야기가 첫 번째 이 문장 두 개로 나눠진 이 첫 번째 문장의 내용이었고요. Let's move on.
Okay. The next one has a part that could be difficult to understand, so let's watch the clip.
I actually think that those things are really overrated. I actually think that those things are really overrated.
와, 지금 보면 이
Actually,
발음이
those things are really what? Think that those things.
네, 이렇게 th 발음이 4개가 연달아 나왔어요.
Think that those things.
텍스트로 한번 확인해 보시죠.
I actually think that those things are overrated.
네.
I actually think that those things are overrated.
뜻은 화면에 보여드린 것과 같고요. 저는 사실 그런 것들이 과대평가된다고 생각해요라는 말인데 those things라는 것은 뭐 following your dreams, maybe dreams.
Yeah.
Dreams are overrated.
Dreams or passion, or maybe even finding it, at a young age or so.
네, 그런데 여기서 중요한 것은 아까 그 vocabulary breakdown 할 때 잠깐 소개했던 overrated 있잖아요.
Overrated.
Let's talk about it. So one thing
Okay.
that is overrated. Name it. Name one
One
thing.
thing that is overrated, certain movies can be overrated, in
그렇죠.
my opinion.
실제 그 영화의 가치, the actual value in your opinion can
Yeah.
be maybe 5 stars
Yeah.
out of 10.
Yeah.
그런데 실제 평은 막 10개.
Yeah,
9개.
like 10 out of 10 or 9 out of 10, you're like, oh no, that is overrated. It was not that good. It received a much higher score than it deserves.
맞아요.
Yeah.
또는 an actor or actress can be overrated.
Foods can be overrated.
실제로 배우가 가지고 있는 실력은 이만큼밖에 안 되는데 사람들의 평판은 이만큼일 수도 있겠고
Yeah.
음식도 1시간 기다려서 2시간 기다려서 먹을 만큼은 아닌데
Yeah.
괜히 인기 있어서 사람들이 줄을 선다. Overrated.
Or certain places, just about anything you can give some type of score or rating to
네.
could be overrated, except for grades in school.
네. And you can argue, 주장할 수 있겠죠. College
Is overrated.
대학 다니는
Yeah.
거 그렇게 뭐 중요하지 않다. 이렇게 주장할 수도 있겠고요. 반대로 underrated라고 하면 실제 가치는 이만큼인데 사람들이 몰라줄 때.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, in the same thing, all the things that can be overrated can be underrated.
That's right.
A movie can be underrated. Like you thought it was phenomenal, but the ratings were too low. You know, food, places, etc.
네,
can all be underrated.
그렇죠. 그런 것들을 underrated, 반대로 overrated라고 할 수 있는데요. 이 부분 다시 들어보겠습니다.
I actually think that those things are really overrated. I actually think that those things are really overrated.
And let's see what else happens when you put pressure on young people.
오케이.
And it puts too much pressure on young people. And it puts too much pressure on young people.
그 생각 자체죠. having to find one true passion and following their dreams. 이거 자체가 puts too much pressure on young people. 젊은 사람들에게 아까 첫 번째 문장에서는 way too much라고 했는데 여기서 그냥 too much.
Too much.
같은 내용입니다. 바로 넘어가 보죠.
To just find one thing that they are really, really good at. To just find one thing that they are really, really good at.
어떤 pressure, 어떤 압박을 주는가 하면은 to just find one thing, 그냥 딱 한 가지만 찾으라는 거예요. That they are really, really good at. 자신들이 정말 정말 잘하는 거 딱 한 가지를 찾아라. 이게 정말 쉽지 않잖아요.
No,
사실-
it's definitely not.
있으면 좋죠. I was lucky because I found it when I was in high school, which was learning languages or teaching languages. 그런데 만약 그게 없었더라면 어디서 찾아야 될지 굉장히 힘들었을 것 같아요.
Of course.
Like,
So,
yeah.
so some people don't like find their passions until they're like 30s,
Or
you know?
40s.
30s or 40s
Yeah.
even. So many people just like quit their jobs at 40 and then went on to follow their dreams and passions at
Yeah.
such a late age. Everyone is different.
And yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, and that's perfectly fine. I think that's the pressure that young people have. They feel like during college they have to have their dream, you know, by a certain time in
네.
life, you know.
맞아요.
And the pressure from parents is basically the same.
네, 레이첼 씨가 하고 있는 이야기가 그런 거죠. 방금 메간 선생님의 이야기를 요약해 보자면 이제 20대, 30대, 40대가 되어서 맞아 이게 정말 내가 하고 싶은 거야 찾을 수도 있겠지만 너무 고등학교 때 어렸을 때 그걸 찾으라고 압박을 받으니까 이게 지나칠 수 있겠죠. And let's move on.
Or one thing that they want to do specifically. Or one thing that they want to do specifically.
아니면 구체적으로 하고 싶은 한 가지를 찾는 거. 그 한 가지를 골라야 된다는 것 자체가 too much pressure다. 이런 이야기였고요. So what happens?
And so they go to college and they get into a lot of debt. And so they go to college, they get into a lot of debt.
그래서 그걸 찾기 위해서 they go to college, 대학에 가죠. 많이 배우면 또 생각이 날 수 있으니까. They get into a lot of debt, 빚을 많이 지게 되고요. Especially in the States.
Oh, yes. So much debt.
Yes, college, what do you call it? College, student loan?
Student
네.
loans. You need them. It's so expensive, ridiculously expensive.
맞아요. 굉장히 비싸다고 들었고 생활영어 방송을 통해서도 몇 번 소개한 적이 있는데요. 그래서 they get into a lot of debt. Get into debt. It's an expression. You have a lot of debt. You
You have acquired a lot of debt because you borrowed a lot of money,
yeah,
basically.
you get into debt. I think you get into debt. This expression is scarier. 왜냐하면 빚 속으로
It
들어가는
is scary.
거잖아요.
It's like you get into bed, you get into debt. Like it's stuck with you.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
inside it.
very hard to get out of debt.
Exactly. Anyway, and then what happens? Something good?
Nope. And they still don't really know what they want to do. And they still don't really know what they want to do.
그런 다음에도 they still don't know. They still don't really know.
Yeah.
그런 다음에도 여전히 모른대요. 무엇을? What they want to do.
Yeah, like me.
You-
Well, right now I do,
Yeah.
but after I graduated from college, I had debt, and the thing I majored in, I was good at, but it wasn't my passion, and I wouldn't have been happy doing it
I see.
for my whole life. So that's why I
맞아요.
just came to Korea.
I think a lot of people experience exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
A lot of people, the majority of college students. 그래서 대학을 다니고 나서도 뭘 하고 싶은 건지 모른다. 레이첼 씨의 이제 주장은 이런 거죠. 하나를 찾아야 된다는 생각이 너무 강하기 때문에 그만큼 대학도 다니고 뭔가 찾으려고 노력을 하지만 여전히 결과는 안 나온다라는 이야기고요. And then
A lot of them have generic degrees. A lot of them have generic degrees.
a lot of them이라는 것은 a lot of
Students,
네,
college
학생들,
students.
그렇죠. college students, 학생들 중 많은 수가 generic degrees. generic degrees라고 하면 포괄적인 학위라고 번역해봤는데, like Western languages
Yeah.
or literature.
Even just like majoring in just like psychology is kind of one of
Yeah.
the things we consider to be general because it's not a specific field of psychology.
economy
Yeah,
or law.
Law.
is maybe an exception. You
that's
know,
true.
You major in law.
Because after you major in law, you take the LSAT and then.
you become either a lawyer or maybe a judge.
Right.
그런 경우 아니고서는 사실은 그냥 어떤 것을 전공한다고 해도 굉장히 포괄적인 거죠. You never know what you will do majoring in that thing.
Right.
Okay, so generic 기억해 주시고요. 다음 부분 보겠습니다.
And the next part has a part that could be difficult to understand, so let's watch the clip.
That don't really point them in a specific direction as far as career goes. That don't really point them in a specific direction as far as career goes.
방금 전에 Korea가 들렸는데 아닌가요?
Korea goes. I heard Korea.
Korea ghosts?
Korea ghosts. Ghosts in Korea.
네, 한국 유령, 한국 귀신 아니고요. 실제로 뭐라고 했죠?
That don't really point them in a specific direction as far as career goes.
I see.
That don't really point them in a specific direction as far as career goes.
네. 사람들이 아까 그 앞부분에서 generic goals, 포괄적인 학위를 딴다고 했잖아요. 그것을 묘사하고 있는 부분입니다. That don't really point them in a specific direction. 그 다음에 나오는 게 as far as career goes. As far as A goes 또는 as far as B is concerned 이렇게 말하면 뭐뭐에 관해서, 뭐뭐 면에서란 뜻이죠. 그래서 커리어 면에서 이 포괄적인 학위들이 they don't point them in a
any
direction.
direction, right?
네.
Because there's a lot of different jobs you can get with certain degrees, and with most degrees, if you want a job, you have to go to graduate school to do a specific type of study to get a specific job.
That's right. I majored in a language in college, and then most of my classmates back then, like most of my university friends, now work in a bank.
Oh.
Like they work at banks, and their jobs don't have anything to do with the language that they learned. 그런 거
Right.
보면은 이제 방향이 완전 안 맞는 거죠. So she's talking about that. 어떤 구체적인 방향을 제시해주지 않는 포괄적인 그런 학위를 딴다라고 이야기했습니다.
Okay, so let's listen to it 2 more times.
That don't really point them in a specific direction as far as career goes. That don't really point them in a specific direction as far as career goes.
So, what does she think we should do or they should do?
Okay.
So, I think personally that you should, number 1, find happiness within yourself. So, I think personally that you should, number 1, find happiness within yourself.
네. 미리 말씀드리자면 number 1 나왔는데 나중에 number 2 안 나옵니다.
Yeah, it
네,
doesn't.
다른 형태로 나옵니다. 찾아보시고요. And I think personally 개인적으로 어떻게 생각하냐면 that you should number 1 첫째 find happiness within yourself. 내면에서 행복을 찾아야 된다고 우선 찾아야 된다고 생각합니다. Personally 개인적인 제 의견입니다라는 이야기고요. Have you found happiness within yourself?
I think so. I'm pretty
Okay.
content with who I am
Yes.
and where I am in life.
Good for you.
What about you?
I
You
think I
haven't. I
have.
can see it all over your face.
I think I have, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, you have. You have.
I'm pretty happy with
Yeah.
who I am. Okay, let's move on.
Being content with your life and who you are as a person. Being content with your life and who you are as a person.
앞에 이제 happiness가 나왔는데 그것과 관련된 다른 단어가 또 나왔죠. content.
Content.
사실 우리가 컨텐츠 할 때 그 content는 또 아닙니다.
All right. Not content, content.
네.
It means you're okay and you've accepted and you like, something. Where
네.
you are right now in this case.
That's right. content라고 하면은 이제 컨테이너 안에 들어있는 그 내용물이죠.
Right.
그 컨테이너 하면 그냥 용기 어떤 것을 담는 용기는 다 컨테이너입니다. 그 안에 들어있는 것은 다 contents이고요. 그래서 뜨거운 커피 잔 같은 것을 보면 caution,
Caution.
contents
Contents
hot.
hot.
내용물이 뜨거우니 주의하세요라고 경고문이 붙어 있죠. 그런 contents는 con의 강세가 있고 content는요 뒤에 강세가 있습니다. 그래서 content with your life, 자신의 삶과 who you are as a person, 사람으로서 자신이 어떤 사람인지에 대해서 현재의 모습에 대해서 만족을 하는 것이 중요하다라고 했고요. And then what's the second one that you should do?
Also, try to be useful to your community and the people around you. Also, try to be useful to your community and the people around you.
네, 그래서 지금 레이첼 씨가 생각했을 때 중요한 두 번째는 try to be useful to your community, 공동체에 자신이 도움이 되게끔 and the people around you, 주변 사람들에게도 도움을 주도록 해야 하는 것이 중요하다라는 이야기였습니다.
And through doing these two things,
through라는 것은 뭐뭐를 함으로써 뭐뭐를 통해서 그리고 이 두 가지를 함으로써
you can easily find, I think, a job that just makes you happy. You can easily find, I think, a job that just makes you happy.
중간에 I think가 들어가 있죠. I think 앞으로 옮겨도 괜찮습니다. I think you can easily find a job that just makes you happy. 자신을 행복하게 해주는 직업을 쉽게 찾을 수 있다고 생각합니다. 그 두 가지를 하면요.
You could also put I think at the end too.
Yeah.
You can easily find a job that makes you happy, I think.
I think. All right. That's perfect.
It is
So that's
perfect.
the end of Rachel's story for today.
That's right. So we're going to listen to it 2 more times. The first time with English subtitles and the second time with that. So let's watch.
I think there is way too much pressure on young people to find their one true passion and follow their dreams. I actually think that those things are really overrated, and it puts too much pressure on young people to just find one thing that they're really, really good at or one thing that they want to do specifically. And so they go to college, they get into a lot of debt, and they still don't really know what they want to do. A lot of them have generic degrees that don't really point them in a specific direction as far as career goes. So I think personally that you should, number one, find happiness within yourself, being content with your life and who you are as a person, and also try to be useful to your community and the people around you. And through doing those two things, you can easily find, I think, a job that just makes you happy. I think there is way too much pressure on young people to find their one true passion and follow their dreams. I actually think that those things are really overrated, and it puts too much pressure on young people to just find one thing that they're really, really good at or one thing that they want to do specifically. And so they go to college, they get into a lot of debt, and they still don't really know what they want to do. A lot of them have generic degrees that don't really point them in a specific direction as far as career goes. So I think personally that you should, number one, find happiness within yourself, being content with your life and who you are as a person, and also try to be useful to your community and the people around you. And through doing those two things, you can easily find, I think, a job that just makes you happy.
Wow. We're hearing some really great mini speeches this week.
I'm feeling pretty motivated this week and just really happy. Yeah.
Yes. So let's all think about these important topics throughout the remainder of the week. And let's move on to the next segment.
Okay, it's time for Street
Smart.